morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Rhypi here. Welcome to the stream. I was doing one earlier, but apparently there was buffering issues and no one was able to hear me. So we're retrying it to see if you guys can hear me. Hopefully, you guys can. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm Rhypi. For those of you that aren't getting to know me, I'm a variety content creator where I do a lot of gaming. But when I'm doing these vertical shoots, usually is to show traffic and stuff like that. But right now, my magnet that's on my phone fell down, so I had to figure out a way to repair it when I get home, since I don't have any of the equipment to do that at my workplace right now. So we'll see how that goes. I hope everyone's doing well as we can. Feel free to ask me questions, talk to me. Feel free to say hi, however we want to do things. Hope everyone's doing well. Don't know who's going to be here this time around. I know there was a decent amount of us that was there before we had the issue. And you guys couldn't see me anymore, but we'll see how that goes. I'm assuming no one was in that previous stream, because when I did the poll, no one responded, so it happens. Hope everyone's doing well. Right now, we do not have a video because my magnet is not working, so I have to figure out how to get it to work. So today, wise, there's no video because of it. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm Rhypi. For those of you that haven't met me, I do a lot of gaming content, stemming from demos from full games, doing the A to Z challenge, where I've tried different games within each letter and stuff like that. Hello, Los and Eamon. How are you guys both doing? Welcome in. Hope you guys are doing well. I know right now, for me wise, if you've ever been lurking in my streams, you're used to seeing something on stream, but right now my magnet failed, so just to give you guys a heads up. Okay, Adam and Lisa, just remind me if I start seeing you guys on a regular basis. Just remind me if I don't remember the first time, okay? So I don't mind you, if you guys want me to know your names. Just keep reminding me if I see you more times, because I know that we want to make sure our name is set. For me, I'm Rhypi, where I do a lot of video games when I'm on YouTube or when I'm doing these streams. Usually you guys are seeing traffic. If it wasn't for my camera being messed up right now. Because for me, I always say that just because me, I'm a teacher and instructor when I'm not on YouTube, so I understand some of you guys want to make sure your name is said correctly, whether it's your channel name or if you want me to know you by your name instead. Just a matter of what you guys prefer and stuff like that. So that's why I said at first, because I saw your usernames. That may take a couple of times, because especially right now, at this point of the year, is when I'm still learning my students in my school, because it's the second week of school for us. So Welcome back, Roka. Thank you for coming by again. Sorry that the last stream I had to cancel it or pause it in a sense to redo another one because there was buffering and my mods was letting me know. So. Thank you, Lisa. But yeah, feel free to check out my videos and leave comments if you guys want to tell me what you enjoyed and not enjoyed. If you enjoy the different things that you're hearing or different things you're watching, depending on which video you're talking about. Because for me, just like to get to know what interests you. Because I know sometimes I'll be thinking about that when I make future game playthroughs, but sometimes I might think about adding things to gameplay when I'm able to, but especially during the summertime when I have a little bit more free time. But right now, as a school year, it may be just me quickly recording it and quickly editing it to make sure you guys have something at some point if I stop doing a daily stream, depending on how busy things get on my side of things. That way, you guys always have something you can watch that's new every day, even if I'm not able to have a stream every day, depending on what's going on around me. So, looks like you didn't get a chance to hear that, Roka, or that it started buffering during that time. I'm from Texas. I've always been in the United States, but I've been 99% of my life been in Texas. Sometimes I've been in other states because of me being in marching band or band trips that we went to different places. So nice, Adam. What kind of apples are your favorite, if you don't mind me asking? Nice. No worries. But that's why right now, usually I have you guys where you guys can hear my microphone like this because it's on my dash cam in a sense, but my magnet fell down, so that's why it's one of the things that worst case scenario is the case of that might be where you guys might have to hear it. I might have to repeat the questions later, depending on what you guys are able to hear or not hear. But just in case you're able to hear me again, I'm from Texas, so. I know that my voice does not always sound like I'm from Texas, depending on what voice you're used to hearing. Because I know some people do a lot more southern twang or drawl and stuff like that. For me, I know how to do it, but I just don't do it as part of my speech, just because that's just not me. But I do know how to do it because it is part of who I am. It looks like, and I'm fizzing again. Yep, indeed there is. If I remember right, that's closer. That's like not directly in, but kind of like in the Middle Eastern area. Like, I don't know if it's called the Middle East where Jordan is, but it's kind of like on the outskirts of it, if I remember right. If you know more about it, am I correct, or am I thinking the wrong place? So I don't think I've researched much about Jordan, but I remember seeing it on the map. Thanks, Rebecca. And just to warn you, because sometimes, because of me thinking of many people's laughs, that sometimes I do a lot of them, so it might be the case that one time you hear my normal laugh, and one time I'm thinking in character because of me doing my voice acting. Nice, Adam. That's always cool, especially since I know for some of you guys it's the case that we have the knowledge of the fact that, if I remember right, Arabic's one of the languages where you're typically writing from right to left, correct? So I know, if I'm remembering right, that English can be interesting at times because we're trying to recognize that we remind ourselves that we're writing from left to right instead of right to left. I eventually want to try Roka, but I'm still waiting to because I just got my full-time job, and make sure that I know what I need to do for my full-time job first. So that way that when I do voice acting eventually, I don't know if people will want me to do it more often, who knows, but I do it. If you ever watch any of my Pokemon videos, I usually try to do different voice acting. What does that mean, Adam, what you typed? But yeah, because I've known a couple of people, because of my calm voice, want me to do it, and I've done. And for me, it's like I've tried different voices where sometimes I can go very deep or very high pitch or stuff like that, depending on what you guys. Nice. So a couple of you guys are from know Arabic. That's cool. I have to look at that at some point so I can make sure that I recognize it if you guys say that to me. Because I know that we like being able to learn different things. I know I can't promise that I'll learn everything that you guys show me, because there might be things that it just doesn't connect for me. But that's the same reason why I learn Portuguese and Japanese, because some of the people that comes to my chat sometimes are from Japan or Portugal or Spain. So I know bits and pieces of different languages depending on who's in my chat. So it's always a cool thing to be able to kind of recognize, even though I know my primary English is my primary language is English, but I know more Spanish than some people, just because of me being from Texas, but not enough to fully conversate in it. And then Japanese I've slowly been learning for the last 10-ish, 15-ish years. And then Portuguese recently, because I've met a couple people from them there. So nice, Roka. But yep, that's hello in Spanish. But yeah, I know some of you guys probably have at least 3 languages that you're able to do. And like I said, for me, I recognize some. I just can't say everything in the book. Like, I know bonjour is hello in French. So, but I know I'm not always saying it correctly, because I know there's a proper way of saying the J, but I can't remember it offhand. I know about Roblox, I just don't play it that much, to be honest with you, just because it's just not something I've ever thought about playing, just because I usually am focused. My focus is more on Pokemon, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, and stuff like that. For advice-wise, just take it slow and steady. Unless, for some of you guys, depending on if you want to be an interpreter in your future, I would make sure to figure out what program you learn best with. Some people may say Duolingo, but the problem is, at a certain point, it feels like you're repeating only the same words many times, so it doesn't feel like you're challenging yourself as much. So I know some people, they like using a program called Rosetta Stone, but I don't know much about it yet just because I'm not trying to do that because it is paid, that you have to pay to use it. But I know there's other ways of doing it, like in the United States wise, we have different schools that can help you learn the language that you want to learn. You can take a class in that subject of what language you want to speak. So I don't know where you're currently at, Roka, but I would see if there's not any in-person classes that you can take. See if there's any virtual tutors or virtual classes. If you're wanting to say you want to learn a class, that you talk to a tutor and saying you want to be able to feel like you have conversational skills. They will give you kind of like a plan of how long it may be and how much the class may be or how much the tutoring sessions are and stuff like that. Just a matter of who you talk to about it when it comes to learning languages. It's like for me, I'm not learning languages for my profession. So for me, I just slowly learn it when you guys are showing it to me. Now, not how I learn it, but in the past, it's just me slowly learning it from my students. Because I have students from around the world sometimes coming because sometimes we have what's called the foreign exchange program, where we sometimes have students from many different places. Because I've had some from Germany, I've had some from Italy, I've had some from Sweden. I've had some from England. I've had one from Peru once. So just give you guys a heads up if my voice gets cut off, it's because someone's trying to leave me a voice message. Just give you guys a heads up. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to give you guys ideas. I don't know what's going to be the best thing for you. I just know from what I've seen. But sometimes, like Adam said, you take a vacation to somewhere that you want to learn the language, and that helps you learn it faster once you have it. But I wouldn't do that until you have a basic level, depending on the nature of what you're trying to do. And it varies depending on who you talk to. So, like I said, that's just the stuff I know from what I know. And sorry that I repeated that. But don't be afraid to figure out what you need to do. But I know for some of you guys, it will be more restricting now, but it might be stuff that when you're thinking about going to college or university, you might start thinking about it if you're allowed to go to those places. So, can everyone hear me okay still? Can't promise I'm the best teacher with teaching languages because I only know English. I can't promise any other language but that's why I would look up those kind of things so you can have that resource available to you. Because I don't know what language you're thinking about, so that's why I'm saying that. But I'm just being honest. Honest is, like, especially when I'm playing video games, I may not always be as attentive to seeing everything in chat. So I don't want it to be that I miss it, but sometimes it might be some of my mods that they see that you're asking that question might try to see if they can help answer your question too. Because we're about building a community where we can ask questions. So, hey Jackson, how are you doing, Jackson? No worries, Adam. No worries at all. So, for you wise, if you're wanting to learn languages, you might be soon, depending on what the roles are for you. I don't know what is the rules as far as like when you get to decide if you go to college or trade schools of your variant of where you are, of what different things you can do to help you out and stuff like that. But welcome in, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well as we're just chilling out as I'm driving, but we can't see traffic because my magnet broke. So just a matter of how you need to approach things to yourself. Like I said, for me, I'm Rhypi, R-H-Y-P-I. Okay. If that helps you, Rucka, I just, like I said before, I just don't want to promise that I can completely help you because I don't know what exactly you need help with. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that, because at the end of the day, I don't want you to feel ever disappointed if I'm not able to help you because I don't know what you need or don't understand what you're asking. Because sometimes, especially if I'm tired, I'm gonna sometimes be like, what's that again? I'm not sure. It just depends on how things are for me at the time. So that's the only reason why I say what I say. That's always something for me. It's like I don't want people to ever feel like that they hold something to a standard, and then when it doesn't make sense to keep that standard, or that it doesn't work out, that I don't want it to be that it feels like we're trapped in a sense. So that's the only reason why I say how I'm saying it. If you want to ask, Roka, go ahead. But why did it, Adam? If you're it's like I said, worst case scenario for me, I might look at it as like, not sure if I'm the best person to answer that question. So for that, it depends on what you know in mathematics, because depending on what's being asked of you, sometimes we can say it's 5.5 and other decimals, or 5 1/2, stuff like that. Just depends on if you're trying to think of it in a math sense, that there's a lot of answers that you can say.